We're back, people.
We're back.
Woohoo! I know you've missed us. So much has changed.
So much.
So much, you guys. So, let's start off.
Okay.
Quarter one, our team, top producers, we're winning it. We're doing well. Also, with G Lending, we're starting a whole new chapter in that, and so that's very exciting. We're kind of partnering and teaming up with all that. So going forward, I'm going to kind of be the lender advice, and Rosetti's going to take on the realtor advice, and you're going to see what a great partnership can do. So we just want to talk all things real estate.
Yeah, it's spring market right now. It's been a little slower due to all the things happening in the economy right now. So I think if we could start talking about mortgages and kind of where buyers are at right now, next week will be the best time to list your home. So as the mortgage lender, Maria, if you want to share a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I know that everything that's going on in the world is concerning to some people. I get that. We have a war that's happening right now, which is driving the cost of oil up. And when the cost of oil goes up, everything goes up because it's all transported using oil, gasoline, and things like that. So we're seeing that in the economy right now. The other thing that happens is when the economy gets a little nervous and we start to think inflation, it affects the 10-year Treasury bond. Well, rates are directly affected by the 10-year Treasury bond. And so that's why we're seeing this influx of rates going higher. It is happening because of what's going on in the world, but it's more so because of this. People are scared about inflation. And so the 10-year Treasury bond goes up, so the mortgage rates go up. Here's what I can tell you. The war is going to be over pretty soon. We all kind of feel that.
Let's hope.
Yeah. And once that happens, we're going to start to see a settling in the market. The other thing is there's going to be a new chair for the Fed rates and for the Fed, and that's going to make another big difference. So is it going to last what it is? No, but here's another thing. Rates are not that bad.
They're not that bad.
We're still at 6.5 right now, and guys, that's a good, wholesome, very safe, economical rate for people. And we always say, date the rate and marry the house. So you can always refinance, but getting into a house when the rates are kind of unstable like they are is great, because once they go down, the houses, we're going to see multiple offers on them and things like that. And then that's going to drive the cost of the house up. So get the house while it's low and refinance later.
And especially for your first-time home buyers out there, I think that everyone gets lost in what the rate is or how much things cost, but the reality is how much they can afford per month.
Yeah.
And connecting with the lender can tell you all the things. You know, they're going to ask for documents for you to look at what your finances are, because the bank isn't going to give you a loan if you can't afford it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as a lender, we're going to try everything. We don't get paid just like agents don't get paid until the loan closes. So on the lending side, we're going to do everything in our power to get you into a great mortgage that is good for you. And nothing predatory, nothing that in 6 months you're not going to be able to afford, because that comes back on us. So we want to make sure that we're putting you in a home, your max amount that you can afford, and get you in fast. So that's one thing, calling a lender first can be scary, but it's really the very first step in figuring out how much you qualify for. And then the agent can take you out and find you the house of your dreams. Or maybe it isn't the house of your dreams. Maybe it is your starter home. But that's okay. Start with one and move on to the other.
Yeah, I think that everyone, as a first-time home buyer, they get so fixated on how much they qualify for, what the prices are like compared to what they were 10 years ago. And I think that if you can start opening up that conversation with a mortgage lender, if you don't want to buy the house, you don't buy the house.
Right.
But at least you know what your means are when it comes to searching online, because we all love to search online for homes that we want to move into, and those are goals, right?
Absolutely.
So it's very motivating to look at houses, but sometimes I think what happens with mortgage lenders out there is that they kind of deny them, and not that denying is no one wants to be rejected.
Absolutely.
But you can always create a plan to get you back there, or to maybe make more money and be able to afford a home in your lifetime.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, we work with a lot of people where at first glance it's like, okay, it's not going to work right now, but it is going to work in 6 months from now, and here's the plan for you. So we don't ever like to say the word denied. We never tell you no. It's always, here's what you need to do to make this happen, and we let you leave with an actual plan of action that you can go out there and do. We've had credit scores as low as 450, and we've stayed the course and worked with people. If it takes a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, I mean, we stay in touch and we help do that. And I know you, as the realtor, she will always stay in touch with you and make sure that your plan is being executed. And if there's anything that we can do personally, we're always here for our clients.
There was a study that just came out recently. Your average rent is like $17.92 in Las Vegas. And I remember my first apartment when I was college. It was 2 bed, 2 bath. It was $700.
Oh my gosh, things have changed.
If you think you have a little bit of guilt of not buying 10 years ago, don't wait another 10 years
Absolutely.
to speak with the mortgage lender, because it's truly locking in your housing and keeping yourself at a steady pace where rent doesn't increase $200.
Exactly.
Because I remember when I was renting with some roommates, $50 increase was a lot.
Absolutely.
So
$50 is like a grocery bill for some people for the week.
Yeah.
So it's important. I also think too, touching on what you were saying about rent, a lot of people do kind of get a little bit of a sticker shock when they decide to buy versus rent. But there's a couple things I want to talk to you guys about that. So first of all, yes, your payment may go up to have the same type of house that you're renting. But you have to remember that that equity is being poured into your house. You are investing in yourself. So your payment might go up, but you're investing in yourself. So it's not like you're paying your landlord's mortgage, you're paying your own. And so that's really important, because I think a lot of people see, well, I'm throwing money out the window, but not when you own the house. It's just like putting money into your 401k, you're investing, especially in Vegas. Like, homes go up all the time in Vegas. So it is a really good investment that you're investing in yourself. And right now, you're helping some renters, and it's like 3 times the first month's rent, you were saying?
3.5.
3.5 that you have to come up with ahead of time. We have awesome 0 down loans. You can almost buy a house cheaper than you can getting into a rental.
Yeah, I always advise tenants, like, hey, I think it's good to meet with a mortgage lender. And if it doesn't work out this time around, then maybe the next time around it'll work for you. But I think what happens, especially in Las Vegas, is that, we're not going to stay here, or, I'm not going to be here for that long. And you go back like 17 years later and you're like, wow, I could have got a property for half the cost for the amount of money that I'm paying right now. And as the economy continues to grow and all the other states keep retiring here in Henderson and Las Vegas, it's getting more expensive.
It is. I know you look at a house that's like $600,000 and you can't possibly imagine that house is going to continue to go up in value. But I will tell you, 20 years ago when I first moved here, it was the same thing. I thought, oh no, that house will never be more than $300,000. And now that $300,000 house is about $850,000. So it's like,
you're like, okay.
What was I thinking? I wish I would have kept all my houses that I bought here.
I feel that like after COVID, everything kind of doubled a little bit. Because I remember shopping 2018, 2019, and your average sale price for a single family home was like $260,000.
Wow.
$280,000. And $500,000 was like rich people status.
Yeah.
And now we're like, it's right under $5.
Yeah, like the average house is right under $500,000.
Like, as a tenant or like someone who's renting out there that's watching this, like, we get it. We get that the stretch of a rental and owning a home feels like a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
Is it close to your workplace? Can you afford this? But I'll tell you one thing, the bank is not going to give you a loan if you can't afford it. And they're not going to let you take a loan on a home that is not worth it.
Exactly. Because ultimately, especially on those 0 down loans, the bank is holding that note and the bank is taking all the risk. So they are definitely not going to get you into a property. It's just, I think, 2008, 2009 scared a lot of people because there were so many predatory loans that were being done previously, and people just started losing their homes. And I think that even though it was so long ago, I feel like that fear is still there.
Yeah.
But the mortgage industry has changed so much. I mean, we're so regulated on even how much we can charge a client. Back in the day, like, we used to be able to charge as many points as we wanted on the front, and we could make points on the back based on the rate. Well, all of that is regulated now. We're only allowed to charge so many in points on the front, and we don't really make that much money on the back anymore. So there's a lot of things that have changed that are designed to protect the consumer, and definitely not to get you into a loan that you're not going to be able to afford. So that's such a great point.
Yeah, and we understand that like the process can be very strenuous sometimes because they need to see bank statements and they need to see tax returns. And the reality is you got to know where those documents are. So if you don't know where they are, or if you haven't filed your taxes, it's starting to get it. And, of course, there's life in between there. People are raising children. They're, at soccer on the weekends. So
it can be frustrating. And I know people do get frustrated with us in regards to that because let's say up front we say we need, 2 months bank statements. We need 1 month of pay stubs. We need your tax returns and your W-2s and your driver's license. That's to get us started. And they think, oh, I submitted all my documents, right? Well, then we dig into your bank statements, let's say, and we see that you have a reoccurring payment that comes out every single month, but it wasn't showing up on your credit report. Well, now we need proof of that payment. We need to know, what is that payment for? Or we see that child support's coming out and never before had you disclosed child support. So sometimes when we start to dig deeper into things pop up and we need more information on. And I know for the average consumer, it can get very frustrating because they feel like you just keep asking me for documents and documents. But I promise we're not just asking for them, we really do need them.
The federal government requires it, so you can get your mortgage lender the documentation they need. They're not trying to not believe you.
100%.
But I think that's, for us, we, you guys fully underwrite them before we even go shopping. I love that piece because my clients are not out there shopping thinking that like something's gonna pop up in the middle of escrow. Because what you don't want to do is be under contract on a home while you're still working, while you're still with your responsibilities that you have, and then now all of a sudden there was something that popped up on there that we didn't know about. Like,
exactly.
That gives me anxiety.
Yes, 100%. I know. I do love that we, for the most part, get everybody pretty much done before they go out shopping, and we do it all with the soft pull, which is another thing that is really beneficial. We do not hurt your credit when we pull your credit because we just do a soft pull, and we won't do a hard pull until you get into underwriting. So it does save that frustration. Now, the only thing is if we do a soft pull and you go out and you buy a car in between when we did that and when we go into underwriting, note it will show up and you could possibly get denied if your debt to income ratio increases too much. So just make sure too, like, I think another thing, people are afraid to be honest. And when it comes to your lender and to your realtor, like, be honest with us because we've been doing this long enough. We can tackle any probably obstacle that you've come across or that you have done, but we can't help you unless we know. So being honest is really important.
And it's a safe space too, right? Like you can freely speak about all of the things that you're comfortable with, which is why it's very important to trust your mortgage lender and your realtor because they're the ones that are guiding you through this process because it's going to be like a whirlwind of emotions. But at the end of the day, you'll stop paying rent. You'll find a home that fits right in your affordability level, and you get to move into your investment. There's not many investments that you can like live in.
Absolutely, it's tangible.
Can't
like,
live in your 401k.
Definitely, it probably stresses you out more because you're like, ooh, like this. But that's such a good point. I love that.
And I don't know why, and maybe this is just because maybe we've been in the industry a little too long. Don't be scared to run a soft pull.
Oh no.
On your credit, like it's just a. I always like to say it's like a red or a green light. And all we need to know is if you are in a red light or maybe a yellow light. We can figure out the steps that you need to take within the 3 to 6 month threshold to be able to get to the green light. Or you're pre-qualified and you didn't even know it.
Right. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
We deal with people all the time who will say, I just don't know, I don't think, I have student loans, and their student loans seem massive, right?
Yeah.
But they don't realize we use just a very small portion of that student loan balance as your monthly payment for debt. And so some people with $150,000 in student loans, oh, it's no problem. We got you. We got you qualified. So some people are very shocked by that. So just reach out. We'll figure it out. That's what we do.
Especially you're like but people who are going to school for a long time that have a lot of student loan debt, I think what happens is that they've been studying for so long, they're like, oh, I can qualify for a doctor loan?
Yeah.
What is this?
And our teachers, our poor teachers, they have so much in student loan debt. It really breaks my heart because to get your master's and your doctorate, you have a lot, and then that doesn't always equal out into pay based on their degrees. But we have a beautiful teacher loan that's a zero down loan, and we can do it, and we only have to include half of your student loan balance, 0.5% of your student loan balance as your payment. And in some cases, we don't have to use any of your student loan as a payment. So these are things that, like, we as professionals, we know how to work through. We know how to, kind of figure out the guidelines and make it work for you. So just reach out.
The Advantage program. This is the hot topic of the year. I know that for the clients that qualify, it's public safety, medical, construction, and what was the last one?
Teachers.
And teachers.
Yeah, firefighters, any of the essential workers really. And I love that they added construction workers because they weren't always a part of that group. And I mean, that's a great blue collar job. I love, and I want to get those people into homes. They typically will rent. And so this program allows you to get into a home without any money out of your pocket for the down payment. The other thing is when you work with us and our team, we also give back in addition to zero down for the down payment. Rossetti and the DiMaggio group will always give 20% of their commission to you at closing, and that offsets your closing costs. And then us as lenders, we will pay for your appraisal. So in some instances, if we can do that and also get the seller to pay some closing costs, you are getting into a home with nothing versus 3.5 months rent when you go to rent. So I just think it's definitely a program that everybody should at least take a look at if you're in one of those fields. And if that program doesn't work, we have other ones that we can put you in and just get you into a home that's very affordable.
Yeah, I think from the consumer standpoint, they just think like you got money, right? But like there's like multiple programs that based on what you do for work or based on what your income looks like, let's say you're not in those categories, you can also do bank statement loans.
Yes.
There's multiple ways to obtain financing for the home, but the key is if you can afford it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, that's always, it boils down to it. And that's where you can trust the lender to make sure that they put you in something that you can't afford. And don't get depressed if it's not your dream home. You know what? I'm telling you, I remember our first house that we bought was $80,000. And at the time, I thought it was my dream home. But everybody evolves. We ended up having 5 kids, and that house definitely didn't fit that. But you just grow, and the smart people, which I wasn't smart in the beginning, and I will tell you, the smart people keep those homes, make them as rentals, buy another house, and do that every couple years. And before you know it, within 10 years, you're a millionaire just in real estate. And it's a great place to be.
Yeah.
So.
You know, it's funny because once you take that first step to purchase your home for the first time, and I think investors can relate to this as well, every home still feels like that you buy.
Yes, exactly.
And then, you know, the best part about real estate investing is that you just want more. So
kind of like tattoos. I feel like it's like tattoos. You get a tattoo, you want another one, you want another one.
Yeah, you're like, let's just keep this going. This is great. Let's get more. Especially when we're touring homes and we're like, wow, I want that in my house. I wonder if we could do that.
Yes, yes. No better way to make an agent broke than to have her go show a bunch of listings because you want everything that you see in your own home. It's crazy.
I'm always texting the agents, especially if it's a flip. I'll be like, what is the color of this wall?
Yes.
Because I'd like to paint my bathroom this color.
Yes.
If you just send it to me. So we have some really great events coming up.
We do.
Police and fire again.
Yes.
In May.
It's May 2nd at Bishop Gorman High School. It's when the police department and the fire department suit up in all tackle football gear. Really, they play a tackle football game. We have a ton of fun in the parking lot, lots of stuff for the kids to do. We're going to have a cash machine that you can jump into. We're going to have giveaways. Food, if you do the VIP ticket, it's $150, and you can get food and unlimited drink upstairs in the Ryan Hall. But the main thing is that the charity that it supports goes to all of the fallen officers and firefighters' families, and it supports them through the lifetime of their loan. So it helps them to go to college. It helps them pay off their home loans. It helps them in whatever way is needed for that particular family. So I would really encourage you guys to come out May 2nd. The game starts at 7. Festivities start at 5. But come out. It's free unless you do the VIP. So come out and have fun. And come see the DiMaggio Group, Angie Lending, and tell us that you saw us here.
I love that game.
It's so fun.
They really play. Okay,
do.
this isn't a joke. This is tackle football for adults.
Grown ass men that should not be playing tackle football.
Their wives are just like, oh my gosh.
Who's gonna get hurt today? Yeah, so it is a lot of fun. And then on May 16th, we have our home ownership workshop, which is going to be a brunch style workshop. You come in, you're going to learn about all the different loan programs that we have, how the agents at the DiMaggio Group give back to all of you. And it's a fun time, just learning and also having a good time and great food. So both of those events are going to be happening fast. Oh, and Meet the Coaches.
Meet the Coaches.
That is April 18th, so it's before this month. It's going to be held at Flowing Tide Pub off of a Rainbow near the 215. That goes to raise money for youth sports here in Southern Nevada. You can get the link on our profile at the DiMaggio Group. Tickets are about $50, but you get unlimited food and 2 drink tickets, and then we're going to have a silent auction where we're giving away some really cool stuff.
I love the silent auction.
Yeah, it's addicting too.
It's very addicting, especially if there's like, you kind of walk past it. The silent auction's nice though because it's not as intense.
Right.
Like I've been to auctions where they do this. It gives me anxiety.
Yeah. It's like, and then you don't want to move your hand because just in case your pedal goes up.
Yeah, like last time I went to one, it was like for a dog, and I was like 200. Like I was like, okay, this is going to a charity. The next person goes 800. I said, and I'm out. No more. Sorry.
I've seen some of those dogs go for like $20,000.
I know,
They're
and it's
crazy.
amazing what they get to raise for the community, but not within my means.
Yeah. Not me either. But, well, I am so happy to be back. We're back filming again.
It's going to be a great year.
It is going to be a great year. We're going to have a ton of fun, and make sure that you guys follow us. I am realtor_in_Vegas.
And I'm at Zeddy with 3 T's.
3 T's, don't forget it. Come and join us.
So thank you again for watching our first episode of the 2026 Sneaker Homegirls Podcast Reboot.
Woo woo!
And we'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.